That may sound crazy, but there are literally schools without windows, and there are schools that have windows that do not open. Like, that is a fact. And getting rid of the lead that laces many of the drinking fountains in schools in our poorest communities. You know, it's crazy, like saying this out loud sounds insane, but it's actually true. As we know, we're living through a climate crisis, and we need to prepare our kids to solve the problems related to that crisis. And we need to do that by making sure our kids have clean drinking water, water fountains, and bathrooms that work. We need to get rid of the lead, asbestos, mold, and mildew in our schools. And our schools need to be energy epicenters for historically redlined communities. By retrofitting our schools, by bringing solar, wind, geothermal, and clean energy options to our schools, it's the equivalent of taking 17 million cars off of the road. So this is a huge transition from dependency on fossil fuels and emittance of carbon in our environment towards what we're looking for, which is clean, green, renewable energy. Schools serve over 50 million children in America, and our bill targets those who go to schools in historically neglected communities. So these are communities that have been, disinvested in over many, many years. And because kids go to schools every single day, that's the perfect place to start to meet the both health and academic and physical infrastructure needs of our highest need communities. Our bill will start with the 50 million that attend the bottom third public schools in terms of financing, and then we will build up from there. The Bronx is famous for many things, including the birthplace of hip hop. It's also famous for the Cross Bronx Expressway as sort of the poster child of how development of these highways crushed communities and split them in half and killed them economically, socially, but also physically. So the school where I was a principal is located in the Northeast Bronx, right off of Boston Road and Dyer Avenue, literally one block from I-95 and about a half a mile from the Cross Bronx Expressway. So our kids lived and went to school in a community where they were consistently breathing fumes from cars and trucks that pass by on a daily basis. Because our schools are so old, many of them don't have the proper HVAC systems and ventilation systems needed so that our kids can breathe clean air on a consistent basis. And I had a disproportionate number of my kids who suffer from upper respiratory illnesses, most specifically asthma. And I had, unfortunately, a student who had a severe asthma attack one day in her home. And because EMS took so long to get there, she lost so much oxygen to the brain that she never was able to recover. And she is still alive, thankfully, but she is a shell of her former self. And people don't think of asthma in this way. They don't think of asthma as something that literally kills children, but it absolutely does. So that was a very personal experience that I had as a middle school principal. And there are many other stories like that across the country, but particularly throughout the Bronx. We still have reconciliation as a huge opportunity to make sure climate is at the center of our reconciliation bill. And myself and many others have been very clear: no climate, no deal. So we are working with the White House, leadership in the House, and leadership in the Senate to ensure that climate is a major portion of the reconciliation package. We have to do this now. This is about our livelihoods. This is about the future of the human race and the planet that is dying. So I know that my colleagues in the House are going to do whatever we got to do to make sure reconciliation is huge, and hopefully Democrats in the Senate support that as well.